Hi, something I wanted to talk about is something that I've been thinking about recently as I've been headed towards 60. And that's the fact that in our household, I am the one that takes care of all of the bills and the finances and the details with all of the online part of our life. I keep track of the passwords, I keep track of the accounts, I do all of the monthly bills. On the flip side of that, my husband is in charge of all of the outside things, all the tools, all the lawnmowers, all of those things. So I've been recently thinking that if something were to happen to one of us, then the other person would be lost in several areas of taking care of things around the house. So I think it's time to educate the other people in my family just in case something were to happen to me and I'm no longer here. They need to be self-sufficient and independent and know how to deal with things. And it's not just knowing how to deal with the day-to-day things that they don't have to right now, but there's a lot of other things that really should get organized and set up so that it is easy for them to deal with it if I am to all of a sudden no longer be available. So in this video, I'm going to list a few things that maybe you should also consider getting in order just in case. I think one of the most important things for me to deal with is my online presence and passwords, memberships, subscriptions, even my phone apps and my television channels and apps. All of those things I know about. I have them written down, but even that, my husband and my adult son do not have a clue where I keep the things and what they are. So one of the very first things I need to tackle is getting them both to know all of that information. And if you have an online presence that is something your family does not know about, think about whether it's something that is fine just to be left alone once you're gone, or if it needs to be dealt with by somebody else. You need to let somebody else in on it. That's definitely something I need to do right now. The second thing I want to work on is getting all of my paperwork organized in a central location in a fireproof situation so that it's organized for anyone to be able to find anything they need. Life insurance policies, I keep mentioning that, but that's an important one. And just all of the things. Everybody has their own paperwork, but everybody needs to get it organized. They have systems that you can buy. There's something called Knockbox, next of Kinbox, and they sell it, I think, on Amazon or just their own websites where they put folders with titles for you to organize it. You can make your own. You can just use a fireproof safe, fireproof file cabinet, anything you can think of. But just, I need to get my paperwork in order in a central location, and it's probably a good idea for you to do the same thing. Along the lines of important paperwork, you should get your important paperwork in order. You should get a will, a living will, a healthcare proxy, power of attorney. You should make sure that your beneficiaries are up to date on any policies. Just so many paperwork things that people put off. People don't think of it until it's too late. People worry about other things in life and don't think ahead. And I think I should have done things sooner, but I do have a lot of that paperwork in order. And I've also done it for my aging parents. They're 82 and I am their power of attorney and their healthcare proxy. I've got my name on all of their bank accounts. I've got their beneficiaries updated. Now that my son is over 18, he was added to a lot of paperwork that he wasn't before. I need to add him to my bank accounts now, which is a recent thought I had, so I need to go ahead and do that. The fourth area to tackle is really just having everybody in your house know as many things as possible. I need to learn how to do all of the things that my husband can do. He needs to learn all the things that I do. We need to be able to make all of the people in the household be able to know how to do all of the things everyone else does. My adult son needs to learn the account information, and just all of the things that my husband and I also know. You never know. The fifth area I want to talk about is tackling the decluttering issue that all of us usually have. I started about 5 years ago really considering what I had and what I needed and what I could get rid of. My husband actually was in the same place around the same time, thinking the same way, which was very helpful because we were able to get rid of so many things that we just didn't need anymore. Projects we thought we might do, we got rid of because we hadn't done them yet, so we probably won't. And we had a huge garage sale, and we've been selling things on Marketplace and just decluttering for the good of our home currently. Now, I'm not going to talk about ways to declutter or our method of decluttering, but I'm just talking about the fact that decluttering is a great idea when you're headed towards being a senior or towards retirement. You just don't need all the stuff, and it was such a load off. It really lifts a weight when you get rid of so much clutter. Now, there's a thing called Swedish death cleaning, which is what I first started thinking about when I started decluttering. My son has told me that he doesn't want any of my stuff. Since he told me that, we decided that there are really a couple things he does want to keep for sentimental value, and that's fine. He can keep those. But I don't think he's going to change his mind. He's 30 years old. I don't think he's going to want my grandmother's old platters and things like that. It's just stuff that is sitting around here because I inherited it from my mom, who gave it to me as a Swedish death cleaning thing. She was in her 70s, and she had my sister and I go through some things and divide them up at that time. And now she's done with that and we don't have to sort it. So that was a good thing to do. However, now I have some of those things that my son doesn't want. So I don't know what I'm going to do with those, but I feel a little weird getting rid of them before my mother passes. So I will hold on to them for a while. Another main area of decluttering is photos. That is not necessarily a decluttering, but it's an organization thing. Go through your family photos. If you have pictures of your cousins or relatives or friends that you don't think you want the pictures, give them to the people that are in the pictures. Have them enjoy them. They might not have ever seen these pictures. And another thing to do with them is just to get them organized and into some sort of a system that they can be passed on. I still have actual photographs that are physical, and that's not common these days. My son has no pictures that he has ever printed out of pictures he's taken. But I have tons of pictures because my son was born in 1994 and it was just on the verge of getting digital. So I still had a 35 millimeter camera because I do like photography, and I used that a lot. So we still have boxes and boxes and albums of pictures. So that is another area to go through and just get your life organized, whether you downsize or not, as far as your home as you get older. It doesn't matter, but if you downsize, you're going to need to go through your stuff anyway, and it should be easier on you if you declutter and organize in advance. The sixth area of things to make sure that your family is aware of are your final wishes. Do you want a funeral? Do you want a memorial service? Do you want to be cremated? Where do you want to be buried? You could even pre-write your own obituary or work on it with your family and have the obituary you really want. The pre-planning of funerals is a good idea financially, but if you have a life insurance policy and you're not worried about your family planning everything for you and doing what you want, then you don't have to pre-plan. But it is recommended just to have things paid for if possible, and just so it goes the way you want to have it go. Talk to your family about your wishes for after you're gone. The seventh area is not necessarily to help your family be independent in the case of you being gone, but it's it's a thing to maybe help you currently be happier emotionally. If you have any relationships that have been strained, or you have people you feel like you need to apologize to, or you want to get closer to somebody, maybe there's friends you haven't connected with in a long time and you want to connect with them, take care of all your emotional things so that they're not baggage that goes with you as you continue aging. It'd be really nice to have all of that taken care of. I currently think I'm good. I will think about it a little more though, and probably there are some friends I'd like to connect with that I haven't seen in a long time. Facebook has been really nice because that has helped reconnect with people from my past. As my son said though, he is the first generation that will never have to reconnect because he has stayed connected to people from high school on Facebook since he graduated. That's different for my generation because we had a long period of time before the internet was allowing us all the social reconnections. But now I think I'm pretty good. A couple of those people that I've only connected with on Facebook, I want to connect with in person. So I might work on that. But work on your personal relationships and don't let anything hang over your head that you can fix. So I hope that gives you some ideas to get started on getting things organized in your household, to be sure you know how to do things others can do, and to make sure others can do the things you need to do, just in case one of you is no longer available. It might not be a fun way to think of it, but we never know what's going to happen, and we want to be prepared. So a few of these things would be a good idea to get going. If you have any other ideas, please put them in the comments, and I can maybe do another video if you all have some extra ideas. Thank you.